There's a tremendous bias against taking risks. Everyone is trying to optimize their ass covering. Starting and growing a business is as much about the innovation, drive, and determination of the people behind it as the product they sell. I think we have a duty to maintain the light of consciousness to make sure it continues into the future. Failure is an option here. If things are not failing, you are not innovating enough. Being an entrepreneur is like eating glass and staring into the abyss of death. Don't delude yourself into thinking something's working when it's not, or you're gonna get fixated on a bad solution. If you're co-founder or CEO, you have to do all kinds of tasks you might not want to do. If you don't do your chores, the company won't succeed. No task is too menial. Really pay attention to negative feedback and solicit it, particularly from friends. Hardly anyone does that, and it's incredibly helpful. Talent is extremely important. It's like a sports team. The team that has the best individual player will often win, but then there's a multiplier from how those players work together and the strategy they employ. You shouldn't do things differently just because they're different. They need to be better. My proceeds from the PayPal acquisition were $180 million. I put $100 million in SpaceX, $70 million in Tesla, and $10 million in Solar City. I had to borrow money for rent. You get paid in direct proportion to the difficulty of problems you solve. No, I don't ever give up. I'd have to be dead or completely incapacitated. They were building a Ferrari for every launch, when it was possible that a Honda Accord might do the trick.
If you had to buy a new plane every time you flew somewhere, it would be incredibly expensive.
There are some important differences between me and Tony Stark, like I have 5 kids, so I spend more time going to Disneyland than parties. I had so many people try to talk me out of starting a rocket company, it was crazy. I'm extremely confident that solar will be at least a plurality of power, and most likely a majority, in less than 20 years. What I'm trying to do is to make a significant difference in spaceflight, and help make spaceflight accessible to almost anyone.